week 11 of the fantasy baseball season, and he has a few pitches falling this week. The first guy is Pablo Lopez of the Miami Marlins. So Lopez here, he's been pretty decent so far in the season, but the last couple weeks his numbers have taken a hit. So on the season for him, 78 innings, 2-4 record, 69 hits, 27 earned runs, 8 homers, 21 walks, 78 strikeouts, 3.12 ERA, and a 1.15 WHIP, and 7 quality starts here for Lopez. But the last couple weeks for him, 11 innings, 1-1 record, 11 hits, 6 earned runs, a homer, 2 walks, 10 Ks, a 4.91 ERA, and a 1.18 WHIP with a quality start. So right here, this Miami Marlin team, they're not hitting the baseball well, and they're not giving their pitchers run support. But right now, Lopez in the last 2 out of 3 outings, he hasn't pitched well here for this Miami Marlin team. And his next outings today, within an hour here at the Chicago Cubs. So we'll see if he can rise up, back up the rankings this week. But the last 3 outings for him, June 2nd at Toronto, 4 innings, no decision, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 homers, a walk, 9 Ks, a 4.50 ERA, and a 1.50 WHIP. Then June 8th versus the Rockies, 8 innings, got the win, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 Ks, a 2.25 ERA, and an 0.63 WHIP with a quality start. And then June 13th versus the Atlanta Braves, 3 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, a homer, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 12 ERA, and a 2.67 WHIP. So the last few outings just haven't been up to par like they have early in the season for Lopez. And this week he's the first pitcher for him, but we'll see today if he could have a good game versus the Cubs. The second pitcher is Jameson Taillon of the New York Yankees. So Taillon, he was banged up the last couple seasons with Tommy John surgery, but so far this year he's pitched pretty much every game they asked him to start. So on the season though, 58 innings, 1-4 record, 60 hits, 36 earned runs, 11 homers, 18 walks, 63 strikeouts, a 5.59 ERA, and a 1.34 WHIP with a quality start in the last couple weeks for Taillon. 10 innings, no record, 15 hits, 9 earned runs, a homer, 3 walks, 8 Ks, a 7.84 ERA, and a 1.74 WHIP. So Taillon, he just can't get the job done this season here. People thought him going to the Yankees, who obviously are going to be one of the best teams in the league when it's all said and done, even though I know they've been slumping of late here as the Yankees. Taillon, he just can't get things together, and he's not going deep into ball games at all, and teams, they're hitting him hard, and obviously he's in a tough division. Like I mentioned, is that AL East with the Blue Jays, the Boston Red Sox, the Tampa Rays, and even the Baltimore Orioles can hit the baseball. So the last few outings for Taillon, June 5th versus Boston, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts, a 5.06 ERA, and a 1.31 WHIP. Then June 12th at Philly, 1/3 of an inning, he only went 5 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, 108 ERA, and an 18 WHIP. And then June 18th, yesterday, versus the Oakland Athletics, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, a homer, a walk, 5 Ks, 3.86 ERA, and a 1.07 WHIP. So right here, he's not hitting the strike zone. He's not getting outs, and teams, they're just driving the ball all over the field on him. And right now, fantasy owners, they've been fed up here with Taillon, and they've dropped him in 8% of fantasy leagues this week. The next pitcher falling is Tony Santillan of the Cincinnati Reds. So Santillan, he had some good hype coming up from the minor leagues as one of the Reds' top pitching prospects. So far in 2 starts this season, 7 2/3 of an inning, 0-1 record, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 homers, 5 walks, 8 Ks, a 4.70 ERA, and a 1.83 WHIP. So Santillan, I thought he was going to come up and be a great pitcher here for the Reds, but so far I know it's only 2 starts. I know he's probably nervous and he's young, obviously, but they're just hitting him hard here. And right now, Vladimir Gutierrez is the more productive Red prospect that came up instead of Santillan here over the last couple weeks. So Santillan, his first 2 starts, June 13th versus the Rockies, 4 2/3, no decision, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 5 Ks, 1.93 ERA, and a 1.93 WHIP. And then yesterday at the San Diego Padres, 3 innings, got the loss, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, a walk, 3 Ks, a 9 ERA, and a 1.67 WHIP. So right now, he's just not going deep into games. His stuff is nothing special up here in the major league level like it was in the minors for the Reds. And right now, there's no next start scheduled here for Santillan. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him get sent down to the minors or the Reds maybe give him one more chance here in the starting rotation next time around. But right now, I thought he was going to be a big-time pitcher here, but that hasn't been the case, and he's definitely fallen. The next pitcher is Nick Pivetta of the Boston Red Sox. So Pivetta, he got off to an undefeated start the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season. His record was 6-0, but now on the season, 74 and a third, 6-3 record, 64 hits, 36 earned runs here, 10 homers, 36 walks, 86 strikeouts, a 4.36 ERA, and a 1.35 WHIP with 4 quality starts on the season. And the last couple weeks here for Pivetta, 14 and 2/3, 0-2 record, 19 hits, 11 earned runs, 6 homers, 8 walks, 18 strikeouts, a 6.75 ERA, and a 1.84 WHIP. So right now he's been struggling here is Pivetta. And I said early in the season for him to be a sell-high candidate, and if people listened and got good value for him, it was the right time to do it, because just looking at his career with Philly, it wasn't sustainable here for Pivetta to keep up the good games, and especially in a tough division as well, like the AL East. So the last few outings for him, June 7th versus Miami, 4 and 2/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, a homer, 3 walks, 6 Ks, a 3.86 ERA, and a 2.14 WHIP. Then June 12th versus Toronto, 5 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 homers, 2 walks, 6 Ks, a 10.80 ERA, and a 1.60 WHIP. And then June 18th at Kansas City, 5 innings, got the loss in that one, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, a homer, 3 walks, 6 Ks, a 5.40 ERA, and a 1.80 WHIP. So right there, his latest outing yesterday wasn't all that bad, but it wasn't all that great either. And right now, he's not going deep into games. He's not getting the wins like he did early in the season. And that ERA is going up, and fantasy owners have dropped him in 9% of fantasy leagues this week. And pitcher falling this week, Jake Arrieta of the Chicago Cubs. So Arrieta, he got off to a quick start going back to his former team here in the offseason with the Cubs. But right now, it's just been a tough outing after outing for him, the last few outings. So on the season here for Arrieta, 63 innings, 5 and 7 record, 65 hits, 36 earned runs, 12 homers, 27 walks, 51 strikeouts, a 5.14 ERA, and a 1.46 WHIP with 4 quality starts. But the last couple weeks here, 10 innings, 0-1 record, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, a homer, 5 walks, 9 Ks, a 4.50 ERA, and a 1.30 WHIP here for Arrieta. So today, his next start's versus Pablo Lopez, who I mentioned earlier in the video here. And we'll see if one of these guys could get back on track and stop from falling this week. In the last couple outings for Arrieta, June 4th at Frisco, 2 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 homers, 2 walks, a K, 27 ERA, a 4 WHIP. June 9th at San Diego, 5 innings, no decision, 4 hits and earned run, a walk, 6 Ks, a 1.80 ERA, a 1 WHIP. And then June 14th at the Mets, 5 innings, got the loss, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, a homer, 4 walks, 3 Ks, a 7.20 ERA, and a 1.60 WHIP. So right here, Arrieta, we'll see if he could bounce back today versus Miami, but I'm doubtful just the way things have gone for him over the last couple outings here. And right now, he's definitely falling down the rankings. So that's a few pitchers falling this week here in Week 11 of the fantasy baseball season.